What's that saying we say all the time when we are back again? It is the show that you guys have been waiting for. Took a little bit of a break, as you know. It's been slow in the fight world, but still, as you've been noticing, those have been watching around, being on the X streets, from a Twitter, that is. A lot has been progressing and happening, but before we even dive into that, we are back again. Episode 67 of Who's Fighting. Fellas, how have you been?
Woo.
Yep. Ditto, I'm exhausted.
It's like perpetual at this point.
For sure. Exhausted. Yeah. Burning the oil, burning the candle end to end. Yeah. Grind. Yeah. Straight grind mode.
The grizzle. How about you, Kam Gee?
Doing man, hey, same. You know, we're doing meaningful things at the end of the day, man. So it's not like there isn't any cause or it's a just cause. You know, LT working with the youth and I know STRAP in academia, and I'm in the gym with the fighters. So you know, it's all worth it. It's a we carry these burdens and we do it with our chest out. So labors
of love.
No, for real. But I've been good, man. I got a 1-year-old now, so that's
congratulations. Happy birthday to you, Cosmo.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. And then a fighter I run his strength program fought outside of Orlando last night and pulled out the victory on the B side. So my guy Jerry G-Man Dormerville out of Miami. So he got to go home a little bit and got some of that love and beat a fighter that promotion company was trying to build up. So he had everything against him and came out with the dub, man. Very proud of him.
Salute.
That's a unique name. That's a unique name. I wonder if he's related to Elvis Dormerville.
He's Haitian. I think you know what? I'm gonna do some investigation there. Now you got me something to talk about tomorrow. But yeah, man, it's good, man. This is our second fight together. So we're now 2-0 as a partnership.
And how long have you been working with him so far?
This will be about 3 months, I believe. So we've had 2 fights in these last 3.5 months, maybe, and we're 2-0. Almost got the stop, so really been trying to impart stopping guys because when you're fighting on the B side at times, those close rounds tend to go to the A side.
Yeah.
So, training hard, and man, we'll be looking for the next opportunity soon, man. So it's all love, man. It's working. That's all I can say. Guys been getting in the gym with me, and we've been getting dubs, man. So can't complain.
Yeah, I always want to ask Kam, do you see any gems that you've seen, people to be on the lookout for, anyone, or you're keeping those cards to yourself for right now?
Oh no, there's a guy out of Grand Prairie, Messiah Nemo. I heard they actually MVP is talking to him. He's like 17, 18, and he has all the tools and that charisma to be a world champion superstar. So be looking out for him. He definitely an Olympic potential, but I think it's just too far away for him. And the talent is so high. You want to accelerate guys like that. So, that'll be somebody I'm sure will, as long as his dad does a great job with him, I'm sure he'll be rising to the top here soon. So that's Messiah Nemo.
Messiah Neo. Remember the name.
out of
Remember the
out of,
name.
out of Faith Over Fear Boxing in Grand Prairie. So
Yeah. How about
so
you,
yeah.
LT? Uh, with a new gig,
Yeah,
any,
man.
any athletes that you've come across that you're like, yo, I've seen this kid, or it's just
Shoot.
something.
Well, I got a kid at my school who's gonna be the first kid to come out of there with a athletic scholarship. So he's already got some offers at the
Hey,
at the NAI level for track and field. He's playing on the football team, so he actually participated in our first ever tackle football game. So that's exciting. But yeah, those guys, those deserving guys, they'll get the exposure. I got ways of going about that. So definitely have a network, and I definitely know how to promote it. So
Salute. As you guys know, we're gonna slowly segue into what happened or transpired this weekend, but I'll be touching and going with this. I'll be transparent with the audience. A lot of these fights we did not watch because it's been a slow week. These last two, as of televising for like the big fights. And people have just been busy. People have just been busy, and we've not been doing our normal scan through, watch, and report. But what we want to talk about is friend of the show. First of all, we had this guest when we did our resurgence back as Who's Fighting. One of our first fighters after S3, we have Sulaiman the Ruler Segawa was back in action after a long break. He was fighting out there in the DMV, and I'll tell you, it didn't look like he missed a step. I watched this fight on ProBox Friday, ProBox TV. Fellas, did you catch this?
this was the only fight I caught on that card. So I made a point to try to get in front of my phone. You had it on my phone at one point, on the TV at one point. It was a lot of moving parts. But man, Segawa, he fought beautifully. He got caught with a right hand early in that first round, and it seemed like that woke him up. And he went into that he got into that flow. It was very pleasing to watch. I was like, stylistically, one of the more pleasing fighters we watched here recently. Yeah, very smooth. Did a lot of like very slick, awkward, and just gave us a lot. Very entertaining, and earned the stoppage against a tough opponent. Man, he was game. Never been stopped. So yeah, big time stuff right there.
I didn't get a chance to see this. I was on the road, but it's on ProBox, so I can go back and check it out.
Yeah, it's on there. It's on there. Thank you, ProBox.
Thank you, ProBox.
Thank you on the shirt.
My pitch into this was, we be transparent here. We talked to Sula, right? He's been on the show. He did express his mentality when it comes to fighting, which was mind opening for me because I didn't think fighters think like this. Because what did he say, LT? He said he treats it like simulation, like a game or something of that nature, where he doesn't look at it like it's life or death. It's just like, man, it's you versus me, and let's figure out this game of chess, and I will, X and O you out of this game type of thing. And he broke it down, and I'm like, bro, you could easily die. In my mind, I'm thinking, people die in this ring, this square circle, people die in it. But again, he's a fighter. I'm not a fighter. So the way he broke it down as, bro, I'm having fun, and that's how I fight. It made sense watching it Friday, how, again, his skill translated to exactly what he said. Like, he outclassed dude. Although, yes, Brian Acosta, younger fighter, more of the aggressor, looked dangerous, and he was seeking Sula, but Sula was, fighting off the back foot, turning good, punching through his ones, twos, and threes, just doing all sorts of combinations. He looked like he was even having fun with this dude. Even when the stoppage happened in the 7th round, right? It was a barrage of punches. It was not like I wouldn't say it was a power flat foot bully type thing. It was more of you could see who the veteran was and see the guy that had the ring IQ to work that square circle in every corner, whether it's setting the pace of being the person stepping and pressing, or being the person fighting off the back foot. And Kam Gee, bringing it back to you also, LT, please help me out. How many fighters do you see who are good fighting on the back foot? And I was surprised seeing Sula had that in his pack. Like, I could count on my hand how many fighters are good on the back foot.
Yeah, I thought he did I thought he made it clear and obvious that he wasn't in danger, which I think we see guys fighting on the back foot, and even Shakur versus Zepeda. There's been some guys that have gone back and done some analysis on there, and Shakur did a really good job of moving with punches, but he did get touched a lot. With Suleiman here, he was making it obvious his skills were there, and the head movement I think helps when you win the case when you're fighting off the back foot. He was countering and he was turning angles, right? That being that southpaw, he turned those angles a lot. It just, like I said, very pleasing to watch, and I think he made that very obvious, and I think that's why he was able to come out on top, because it doesn't seem like they're propping him up to get the best opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's just beautiful. I was gonna say that's the beautiful thing about these pro-backs matchups. Like, Costa comes in with one loss to Cardenas. Coincidentally, that happened in February in San Antonio. But they set up these matchups, and then it's competitive fight. So you look at the record, and you would think that Acosta is the favorite, but they're putting these fighters in compelling situations to prove.
Shout out to ProBox once again, giving us fights on Wednesday nights, giving us fights on Fridays, giving us fights on Saturdays. I mean, you got was it Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi?
Yep.
Dropping jewels. They had our guy. Help me out, fellas. He just fought Tank. Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach, yeah.
They had Lamont Roach on the broadcast a little bit, and because he was a pro box guy.
Yep.
Right, one of those guys that got off the pro box card, and I really see it. It really helps the ecosystem of fighters. Yeah. I know a coach out here in Louisville, Texas. He had a fighter that fought on a pro box card maybe like 3 weeks or a month ago. So getting guys opportunities, bounce around the country, and giving us that access. So just want to, shout out Pro Box.
It's like the junior college system, right? Back in the day, we had the D1 bounce backs.
Yeah, they did 1 year, and they was like, I gotta go do this 1 year at JUCO real quick, do my bid, and get back out here. But the Pro Box cards are all very competitive, well done, well put together, easy to access. Easy to access is the big part of it. Easy to access, because you cannot, as ambassadors of the sport, if we create too many barriers to watch the sport, it will die, right?
Yes.
So we just have to make sure that we support these. So every time y'all share them, I wasn't aware of the card, but when you shared it, I'm in. So. Just gonna make sure we hit that.
Yes, salute to ProBox. And what does this mean for our guy Sula? I mean, Brian Acosta is ranked 35-ish or high 30s, I think, or mid 30s. I can't remember, but Sula at the moment has catapulted back into the top 10 WBC rankings. I don't know what that translates for a 34-year-old fighter who has fought the likes of Shushu. I don't know what that means, but hopefully it means bigger stage, bigger fights, and like what Canelo says, payday. What's Canelo say? Payday. Yeah, whatever Canelo says with payday. That's what we want for our guy. Transitioning, I know it's a fully loaded show with what's about to transpire next week. I mean, I would like to touch, and I could do a brief touch on the main card. Oh, we have a. Oh, did I post something there?
No, that's
Is that
me. You good?
All right. So let's talk about the main card of that day. On the Pro Box, we had Jordan Short Dog White versus Rene El Bravo Teles Giron. I'm saying that right. This is for the NABF lightweight. It was a lightweight bout. We had Teles defeating the hometown guy, Jordan White. During this fight, this was a unanimous decision. The judges had it scoring 97, 92, 95, 94, 95, 93. And of course, Tellers took the NABF title that was vacant due to never mind. Tellers didn't take it because he also missed weight. So that's all I can report. I didn't stick around and watch this. I really have to be honest. I stuck around to watch the Sula fight because that's our guy. But yeah, I just had to report that just in respects of the main event that day. Moving forward to more of, LT, I'm gonna dive into what we're gonna talk about. Like, let's go into the Crawford Canelo.
Quick run those down. Do a quick rundown on those.
Go ahead, Strap.
Of the fights or the preliminary?
Do your rundown. We can go through that. Just do your rundown.
All right. So we have Michael Valdez versus Ricky Medina. We have Valdez winning by unanimous decision. This has Valdez with 26 victories, 1 loss. On my notes here with Valdez, the scorecard from the judges was 190. We had 90, 98, 92, 97, 93, and it looked like a dominating decision or dominating win that Valdez took over Medina. And this kind of puts him in a good position in the featherweight. It was a featherweight fight, so hopefully big things are going for Mandem. And then moving on to Pat McCormick, who made Miguel Parra somewhat not submitted, no, like a UFC type of way, but kind of like quit or tap out or say no mas before the 10th round, and giving him a potential shot to the WBA title, for the WBA title. These were fighting fighting WBA welterweight division, and this was an eliminator fight, so this was a big fight. Moving on to the next one, we have Eduardo Nunes versus Eduardo Sugar Nunes versus Christopher Pitfuyo Diaz, and this is let me pull that back. IBF super featherweight title defense. In this case, Nunes retained his title, defeating Diaz by unanimous decision, scoring 2 knockdowns in the 7th round against Diaz. And we move over to Emilio Vargas. Weirdly enough, Emilio Sugar Vargas. So we have another Sugar. Like, what's up with this Sugar gimmick boxing? We have a lot of sugars from the past, Sugar. But
hey,
we have Emilio.
It's called the sweet science for a reason.
Sweet science, right?
A lot of sugar out there.
A lot of sugar. All right, we have another Sugar on the card. Emilio Sugar Vargas versus Alexander Espinoza. And this is for the I'm reading the wrong thing here. It's for the NABF junior lightweight title. And this was on Top Ranking, by the way. Emilio ended up winning with a first round KO 42 seconds into the fight and handing him the NABF title at Madison Square Gardens. The Gardens, or some people call it Spike's home, whatever. Spike Lee's what's Spike Lee? What did it call it? The home, whatever.
Is that
basketball.
That's where the fight happened. MSG.
That's where the fight happened. Yep. So I'm talking about. This is the top ranking ESPN card.
Oh,
I moved away from the DAZN and the PBC prior.
Are you telling me? Is this like something that already happened? You said, top rank DAZN card.
Yes. So no. Got so this is top rank.
Not ESPN. Not ESPN. That contract is done.
It's top rank DAZN. I'm saying it right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just had to my head automatically. I just had to make sure my head is.
So the next fight here we have. This is from Queensberry Promotions.
Let's pause real quick. I'm gonna pump the brakes. I'm sorry because Kam just shared something. Yeah, that's funny how the music dropped, right? Kam just shared something. We got Suleiman. Looks like he's scheduled to fight on Halloween.
Oh wow!
And I'm sure that's a typo.
Box rec, bro. But very, very reputable sources that have these typos, and it irks me. But
I know.
It looks like it's supposed to be for Halloween. Suleiman is on there. With opponent is to be determined. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, though, same card, John Cantrell out of Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah,
he's moved up to the top 10 heavyweight of U.S. heavyweight, so he's on that card against Colbein Christensen. So we're looking at some activity for Suleiman here in back-to-back months. So.
And in the DRC though, that's going to be in the Congo. Yeah.
Question for you guys: what are they doing with Michael Hunter? With all the activity happening with the European heavyweights, our number one ranked heavyweight here, what are they doing with him? Like, now that you talk about John Cantrell, like what's happening with Michael Hunter? Like, is he in shape? Is he retired? What's happening over there?
Yeah, no fight on his box rec, but I think a part of the thing with boxing is, self-promotion. Entertainment matters, and we don't know Michael Hunter to be someone that is, chirping, calling out guys, being at the forefront of the scene. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does hurt you at a certain level, especially you're 37 years old.
Right.
Opportunities are going to dwindle. You could just be getting iced out. So I think it's time. Right. Anytime is to start popping off. Start popping off and calling out some names in a certain way that may ruffle some feathers. Because at the end of this point, you want to go get paid. His last fight was December 8th of 2024. So he fought 3 times in 2024, 0 fights as of 2025. So keep that in mind.
Ranked number 1 in the U.S. I hear about Deontay Wilder, who's ranked. Is Wilder still a top 10 fighter? I don't know, but I'm hearing about Francis Ngannou and him. Like, where's Michael Hunter? Like, I'm hearing about top 20s. I'm hearing the 20th guy in Europe being talked about. I'm hearing about Hugovic. I'm hearing about all these other fighters. Like, where's Michael Hunter? Like, so, not to sound like he's not active. Maybe he has something cooking, but we need you out there because you one of them guys. Like, you beat Okoli convincingly. Actually, we want to see you fight, man. We want to see you fight. Like,
so we might need to do some double checking here, but it's not on BoxRec, but per Google, it's having him fight October 4th at the Jaya Life Fronton Casino near Miami, Florida. This bout was initially slated for August, but was rescheduled by promoter Don King. So we may have solved the reason why we haven't heard from him. So working with the Don. So
Don,
like Kubrat Pulev, that was the opponent, Kubrat Pulev. So so maybe we got some action coming here soon.
Yeah. LT, you want to say something? All right.
You said it, Don King. That's enough.
Don King. The
resurgence.
One last coverage of what happened this weekend. We're taking it across the bridge. We have Osli La Bestia Ignatius versus Vladimir
Shishkin
for the IBF super middleweight eliminator. Osli Ignatius won and landed devastating 8th round KO knockout and beating Vladimir, kind of like catapults his world rankings, and of course it puts him in contention for the IBF super middleweight and making him a mandatory, because the IBF also makes you a mandatory for something, because they say a mandatory for, according to my notes, they just say a mandatory challenger status for super middleweight strap. I don't know which category. No, for the IBO. So the IBF, when you're an IBF, when you become the IBF eliminator, it also makes you a mandatory for IBO, which is crazy. I don't know. But anyways, long story short, salute to Osli Ignatius.
Well, and that's a legit win because Shishkin has a victory over Uskatagi. He also fought William Skull. So
yeah. This is just an honorable mention. Shout out to the Ugandan King Kong. We have Muzamiru Kakande, who defeated Kevin Rivel for the Commonwealth silver title. Muzamiru out of Munich, I believe, but he fights all over Europe. And then we have Kevin Rivel from ESAC. I don't know what ESAC's. Is that UK? I believe that's the UK. Hey, salute to you, guy. I see you, and another Ugandan fight over there in Europe doing some great stuff. I just want to give you an honorable mention. Moving over to some announcements that happened either this weekend or leading up to this weekend, and it's topic of conversation. But let's start with the heavyweight division. The guy that we want to wait.
I'm sorry. I just had a thought. I'm so sorry about this.
Sure.
He lost to William School.
The guy the runner, the track star.
He was that close. He was that close to being in the fight with Canelo Álvarez. Just think about that. Like
La Bestia. Yeah, he lost to William.
Sorry.
I don't want to see William School on my TV again. I'm tired of school, even though I work at school.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
School.
That was just an intrusive thought that I couldn't let.
School.
Go ahead.
But moving on to some heavyweight announcements, fellas, we've been talking about this. We have been advocating for this. I'm kind of pissed off, but I understand. Business over everything. Politics as usual. We have been calling for Usyk to fight this person, but apparently a fight has been announced for this person. We're talking about Joseph Parker. He officially has somebody to fight. Fabio Wardley, if I'm saying that right. Fabio Wardley. Fighter, but what in the heck is happening here? We need that Usyk fight. But fellas, take it on.
Well, there was gonna be time. That wasn't gonna be made immediately. When you make $250 million, who is going to fight right away? I mean, so we got Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley, which would be a great matchup. Both guys have the potential to knock each other out. They're doing at a big venue in the UK, so I mean, it's going to be electric. Fabio Wardley, I think he's got like 9 or 12 knockouts in a row.
He's been on
12 in a row. I been following his strength and conditioning program for I think about 4 years now, and I've implemented a lot of those things, and I see how they work on how it improves his performance. I mean, he's knocking guys out one punch. This is a great matchup. I honestly, early prediction, I take Wardley, the youth, the sharpness, and this the pinpoint power. Joseph Parker won't see anything less if that does happen. But it's a great matchup, man. Great matchup.
You kind of have to go this route. I'm looking at you have disappointing performances by Bakoli and Ajagba, I think. And so now you have to pivot to another move. And so that's just this is the money fight right now.
Yeah. You both said it there. Wardley, my disappointment is not based on Fabio Wardley, right? Because Wardley has been on a winning streak, looked impressive. I love his story, man. If you go back and hear his story, he's a late bloomer. Like, he's not a guy that grew up in a boxing gym, He's a guy like he has kind of similar to a Deontay Wilder story where he's late at boxing, right? But to see his level of improvement and how Wardley just gets better every fight, and the guy's like you said, he's on a winning streak, right? Same thing correlates to Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is on his redemption arc. I mean, he's been winning and doing great from his Zhang fight to his Wilder fight to this. He's been on a winning streak. Again, we forget that Joseph Parker was a young champion very early. We thought he was never tested, and he got tested. I mean, he's lost a few fights. I think he lost to Chisora. I can't remember, but one of them guys tested him. But right now, Wardley is going to be a tough opponent for Joe Parker. Very, very tricky fight to take on, but I understand it. It's two fighters fighting when they're hot, but still, Joe Parker deserves that Usyk fight. Meaning he's fought everybody that has been put in front of him, and he's come through those fights. He's overcome those fights on the other end of winning. So like he deserves that Usyk payday. And I understand Usyk has an injury right now, allegedly, or I don't know, quote unquote injury. I don't know. And he's not taking any opponents right now. So I understand it. I get it, but I don't know. I
hope it's a resume builder for Parker, and he comes out unscathed, and we get the Usyk match. It's just something to keep us busy, keep us entertained in the meantime.
Yeah.
And so, fellas, don't sleep on Wardley.
Yeah,
I'm saying
knockout. 18 wins by knockout.
Dangerous. Fellas, do you want to talk about the circus, or do you want to talk about real announcements? Like we can talk about the circus real quick. Do you want to take it less serious, or should we
what's
serious?
The circus? Now I want to know.
That's November 14th. It's been announced that MVP and Javante Tank Davis are going to put an exhibition in the State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know how many rounds they're going to be fighting, but it said Jake Paul, the owner, CEO of MVP, will be fighting an exhibition match. I don't know if this is. I read exhibition, but it may be a real fight. I believe it's exhibition.
So
it's not going to be Wilder's record. I mean, sorry, not Wilder. Tank's record.
So Strap, here's the thing. They're calling it an exhibition only because no sanctioning body would sanction it because of the weight discrepancy.
Right.
So, but what they're saying is regular fight rules. So that's what's being said out loud right now.
This one here has it's a lot to dive into. We slow walk this, or do you, because it kind of triggers me a little bit, but should we slow walk this, or do you guys want to get into it?
Well, we know that Lamont Roach was there. He's a deserving fighter. He deserves his rematch. And it kind of lets you know that the result of a draw was to preserve a bigger payday. So
Mm-hmm.
Good way of looking at it. Personally, how I look at it is, I think Tank knows he lost that fight in the first one. Everybody knows he lost that fight. I mean, the results are different from what we saw. The eye test, everything that you felt, we know who went with the feeling of I got him. And I understand. I want to give you two of my opinions. From my fan side of me being a fan, this is BS. Because as a fan, I want you to see you go back and atone and remediate and fix up. Because Roach knocked you down. You claimed there was stuff in your eyes. Roach not only knocked you down, he dominated. There was never a point. I mean, you had some moments where you caught him flash, but he ate them things. He looked like the bigger fight. I mean, he was a bigger fighter, literally, but he looked like he wasn't moved by your power. But you still had the mercy of the judges to get a draw. If I was a true champion, I'm coming back in blood to get mines. On the fighter side, I understand there's health, there's mental health, there is get the pay. It's all about getting money. It's not, nobody pays you extra money for, for going 12 rounds in war when you could just go and do a circus thing and fight a bear, whatever. I understand it. It's about money at the end of the day. But I'm a fan. I'm not, bro. You're taking away from our entertainment. You're taking away from your credibility. I don't know, but this kind of triggered me and kind of pissed me off, and it's putting me off my fandom of Tank, who I think is a great fighter.
I think the undercards would be interesting. Love to see who's on those undercards.
That's how they're gonna get us to watch it. That's always how they. Jake Paul is got to give him his credit. He does know how to keep his name in the mix of things, unlike some fighters, personalities, entertainers. But we have never seen an active champion compete in exhibitions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like an exhibition from an active fighter is just, that's why I didn't recognize when you said circus, because I've blocked this out of my memory. I'm going to check the undercards. If the undercards are any fights that are intriguing to me, that'll be the only way that they can catch me watching this fight.
So we had Zerto on the previous undercard, correct?
Mm-hmm. Zerto was there.
And so we're not looking at Opatai. We're looking at Zerto. Okay. Yeah, we're not looking at that because that just don't seem real. But we're looking at Zerto and the 40-year-old
Badu Jack.
Badu Jack, exactly. So that's who I'll be looking for. That's what
Badu Jack.
Exactly. That's who I'll be. That's who I'll be looking for on the undercard, because you got to go somewhere from here, right?
I was one of you guys heard me. I mean, how much I like Tank. Like, I called him the face of boxing one time, and I think Kam Gee was like, "Are you crazy?" How much a fan of Tank I am, and I believed, man. I was drinking out of the Kool-Aid, man. I believed, and now I'm believing what Twitter is saying is sometimes fighters get broken, and sometimes when you fight somebody that you're familiar with, who beat you in the amateurs or gave you a hard time, you cannot overcome that huddle. It's just sometimes somebody has your number. However great you are, somebody somewhere may not have any other person's number, but they have your number, and mentally you know it, and you don't want to risk it all. You will take the draw and go home with your ego intact, and you don't want to fight dude because even at my best, dude knows me. We're from the same area, Baltimore. Maryland. I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Tank, looking and assessing and doing risk assessment, thinking I'm gonna get this paycheck. But go do that. You just messing you're losing fans like me, man.
Yeah,
you're losing fans like me, and I don't know.
I'm disappointed in you, man. You talk to him like a family. I'm disappointed in you, dog. Listen, come on, man.
But it's not. This is par for the course with Tank, though, because he hasn't been one to ever even discuss unification.
Yeah.
Like, he's held on to one belt, and then he's like, "Come to me." So,
wasn't he the fighter that said that he doesn't want belts because you got to pay for them or something?
Probably, but
he said he wanted to fight bigger names than have a belt. Oh.
But also, you know, he doesn't care about history. Like, as far as leaving this legacy, he's leaving. His main focus is leaving a legacy for his family. So that's he is money motivated.
I respect that. I can't knock that. I'm just being a selfish fan that I want to see the kid that we hyped up when he was fighting under Team Mayweather, and they were calling him the next biggest thing, Baby Tyson, or whatever they used to call him back in the day. I want to see that really come to fruition. I mean, he has had a great career. Let me not even pretend that he's not reached that status that he was supposed to. He reached it. Even though he didn't fight, did he fight all the best people in his weight cat? Did he fight all the best at their prime? I don't know. I can't speak on that, but he did do great. It's just that he's still young, and for lack of a better word, I think there's more in the tank that he could. He's not like 38 looking for a payday. This guy is. Is he even 30? Is he 30 yet? Maybe, I don't know. 31.
I'd like to see some unifications in these next couple of years. Maybe Lamont Roche can get a title shot against a different champion, a la Shakur Stevenson, who came out and said so. And then, you know, maybe there'll be a unification bout after the Jake Paul exhibition.
And I hate to say this, that's why I respect, and you know, we give this guy a hard time, but because he does it to himself. But we're talking about David Haney. We give David Haney a hard time, but you know what David Haney doesn't do? He doesn't duck tough fights. He's fought the Lomachenkos. He goes into the line of fire. Whether he looks good or not, David Haney has given us those fights. He dares to be great, and we give him a hard time, but that's something I will never see about David Haney, about him doing the tank. Even Shakur does it sometimes, where we don't see the fights that will challenge Shakur. He's always looking good on the other side, or just fighting a miscellaneous person, like a random person. I want to see more action from Tank, but again, that's not for me to decide. So we'll move on. Another semi-circus. It was announced. We have the Mizikes versus the Floydster. And you know, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know whether to be happy
Uncle Mike
that somebody's helping Mike pay some. I don't know if it's a bill that needs bills need to be paid. I'll tell you that. The economy is crazy. But do you want to see this in 2026?
No.
It's scheduled for.
Nope.
Ever?
No.
Do we want to see it ever? Like,
if you're playing like simulation and you get young Tyson, I never want to see that. Even young, it doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Don't get this at all. I hope they don't have a good undercard.
You know, I want to help somebody pay their bills. I'll pay for the paper. But I don't want to watch it.
That's you know, the fans speak. If the numbers aren't hitting, guys will stop doing this.
Yeah, and this is like the third exhibition Mike Tyson had. He got me.
I like the Roy Jones one during COVID, the Triller one, right?
Yeah. He got me with that Roy Jones.
That was entertaining, and it kind of makes sense, right? Former legends, couple of different eras.
And Roy Jones actually competed at the heavyweight division. So
yes.
How old is
There
Mike?
You go. That's like 54 or something.
Bruh.
Something like
he
that.
Turns 60 next year.
44, 45, 60?
He's 15. He's born in 66. So he's 59 right now. So
Wow.
if it's scheduled for 2026, he'll be turning 60. I don't want to see a 60-year-old fighting. Just for my own, I don't want to see a car wreck. Like I don't want to see, just for wellness, well-being, I don't want to see a 60-year-old fighting.
Yeah,
I don't want to see. I want to see grandparents fight. I just don't want to see this. Like, I don't know. Even if it was Floyd, because he's been kind of like stabbing or taking digs at Roy Jones. I don't even want to see that. I don't want to see Floyd versus Roy Jones. Do you guys want to see that? I don't even want to see that.
Well, listen,
There's
Manny
so many fights.
Manny Pacquiao is active right now, so.
Bro, Manny Pacquiao has never left the gym. He's never left the gym, and I was worried for Manny Pacquiao because he's fighting an active bull.
Right. If we're gonna do anything that makes sense,
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I see where you're going, LT, with this, and you may have a point. So you talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather too?
if we're gonna do anything that makes sense,
You know what? You may have had me. Now you got my attention.
Now,
Manny is older
now
than
you're
Floyd.
talking.
Manny is older than Floyd, right? So yeah, bro, I'll pay for that. I actually would want to see the build up on that. I would want to see the whole 24-hour access vlog thing. Now we're talking, but that's because Manny, his last fight, kind of, I don't know if it was a hustle, if he tricked us, but I'm not worried for him in the ring. I'm not worried too much for him in the ring. I'm not seeing Floyd fight, bro. I saw him fighting the Japanese guy and he looked bad. Floyd looked crazy. I saw him fighting Logan Paul. Floyd looked crazy. I just don't know. I mean, he looked good, but he didn't look like Floyd. Like he let Logan touch him too much. Maybe that was the sell. I don't get it, but
Look, if they keep paying him, they keep doing it. I mean, these exhibitions, I mean, it's wild. That's where at that point in boxing right now. So
yeah. And then moving on from Mr. Mike, the two legends like Mike Tyson and Floyd. Let's talk about active fighters announcing. We have Kid Austin fighting Kam Gee's favorite. Hold up. Am I on the right thing or this? No, never mind. This is another announcement here. We have Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora scheduled for October 25th. Fellas, how is Keith? Keith, first of all, respect, former unified champ. How is Keith fast tracking into this stage? That's amazing how Keith has done it.
Because he's only lost two.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao.
He's been active for like 3 years, 2 years.
He's only lost to Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He was in line for Zoo. So, I mean, this is kind of history. So, like, Fundora got the fight with Zoo because Thurman was unavailable. So now this is like plug and play now. All right.
Fair.
My wish is that Keith Thurman wins, and then we get a Earl Spence Keith Thurman matchup.
Ooh.
Just because it was supposed to happen so many years ago.
Yeah.
And but just to talk about this fight, very interesting matchup. I just think Keith Thurman is just weird enough to get that overhand right that he can throw. He's capable of throwing it, that can land on a taller fighter like Fundora, who is there to be hit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something there.
Keith is our age, bro. Keith is not young.
Does Fundora throw body shots?
Yeah. He's a hook guy. He's a hook guy, yeah. Hook.
So that's really the only time that we've seen Thurman like seriously hurt is to body shots.
Yeah.
And he kind of spits the mouthpiece out and catches his breath, right?
Yeah, you have seen that.
So he has proven that he can take a punch. So we know that he will get hit.
We talk about an old Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has been in dog fights because Fedora is gonna give you a dogfight. Trust and believe. But Keith handles dogfights better than technical fighters. Because I see Keith fighting when he fought. He's the best person that handled Sean Porter to me. He beat the brakes out of Sean Porter when even who else struggled with Sean Porter? All Spence struggled with Sean Porter.
Everybody.
Crawford knocked Sean Porter out, but it was did Sean Porter's dad put a white towel in? Threw the towel in, or who was it?
Porter was
He throwing the towel.
Porter was arguably up on points until that point.
Yeah,
and somebody told Crawford that.
What Keith did to Porter was because Porter was just pressing and Keith was just on his back foot, just combinations and just looking like a matador playing with a bull, like pop, 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 and then switching pop, pop. I was like, yo, Keith could be the best fighter at that time. I thought Keith was probably pound for pound the best fighter out there outside Pacquiao and Floyd. That old Keith is a problem because he loved aggressive fighters. He did that with Kell Brook. He the way he beat Amir Khan had the quick hands. Like Keith knocked him out cold because Keith was just because Amir Khan is very aggressive. Keith just absorbed that, was always pivoting, and just caught him good. So that Keith Thurman is, if it's still in him, if he still has it at 37, Keith will beat Fedora because Fedora just has no other style of fighting besides getting into it. I don't think he will ever use that jab like everybody says. You're 6'4". Use that jab.
Well, he did take a step forward in the rematch against Zoo. Yeah. He was knocked out by Brian Mendoza.
Yep.
Who was 5'10".
Because he exchanges too much. Fedora exchanges too much, and he's, I don't know. I think his style, Keith has enough ring IQ. The old Keith would knock him out in, I don't know. I'll give him like 6 rounds. But the new Keith, I don't know. I've not seen him too much. But going off what the Keith Thurman I knew could do, even when Keith Thurman was in trouble with Pacquiao, he beat Pacquiao the last four rounds, I think. I thought he handled Pacquiao because Pacquiao was also another aggressive fighter. He just jerky, just stepping forward, and Keith was just dancing. Keith is a beast. But again, I'm speaking in the past. We've seen fighters not look the same, so I don't know. But Fedora, again, now he's on his Super Saiyan phase. Like what he did to Tim Tszyu, he broke that man's spirit. We were like, Tim Tszyu had a good round. Tim Tszyu didn't want to come out. Like, yo,
man, just hurt.
Because earlier this dude was just outright beating you up. Like, and that's the thing, man. Maybe Fedora may have. I think it's also a confidence thing. Fedora believes he's the guy, manifesting that, and Keith is like not feeling like Keith, because Keith is tune-up when he came up after that bike injury. He almost got knocked out by a random. Like he was like holding on for his dear life. Like he's when he came back from his when he had that
Josecito.
Yeah, Josecito.
Yeah.
So and I didn't mean to say it was a random, like, but he wasn't on the pedigree that Keith was accustomed to. So that's the thing. I think it's a confidence thing. If Keith is the old Keith, bro, I think he's knocking him out. What do you guys think? I mean, outside, is that a crazy take?
Nah, I think this Keith is smart enough to know what he's capable and not capable of. One thing with Keith Thurman, his fight IQ is very rated. And his only losses to a Manny Pacquiao, still an older Manny Pacquiao, but it's Manny Pacquiao. Like I said, I do believe he can land that overhand right. I think that overhand right land. Fedora is there to be hit with that, but I early prediction rolling with Keith Thurman, but I know we'll get back to that as we get closer to that fight.
Yep.
Interesting matchup, though. Very interesting matchup.
I don't want to call him a friend of the show, but we've talked about Raymond Moratella quite a bit on this show. We talked about Kid Austin quite a bit.
Favorite. Two favorites. Like,
yeah.
I'll tell you a favorite of mine.
Right. So it looks like in November, favorites of the show are going to be clashing on the zone.
And this is
for I think the IBF lightweight championship.
This is the path that should be taken.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
You can dig it.
I can dig it.
Yep. These are great. These are great matchups. That's great matchups. Young, talented fighters, hungry, want to make a name for themselves. Yeah, it's an opportunity to get a belt, the IBF belt. I'm with it.
So this answers my question too, because now I think the top ranked stable becomes opened up for these matches to be made.
Is Kid Austin under Golden Boy or
I think
Golden Boy fighter? I mean, he was on Golden Boy. I don't know if he's still on Golden Boy.
Yeah, but I think I'm for sure we seen Murataya come up on Top Rank ESPN. I'm pretty sure.
Well, like this is what I think. If you notice, matchups have been better and better ever since Turkey started to like make the fighters who need to fight each other fight. Now other organizations are making the fights that we need to, because they're seeing it's not about I think we're slowly leaving that he's too young, he's this and this, like a time or protect his let's get him some bums and let's have him at least have like 30 victories before we feed him to the top 10 guys, right? Moses Itamo, Abdullah Mason, and then Kid Austin. Like these guys are now getting in with the big boys early. Like it's not like a betting period for them anymore. Because I think Jared Anderson was on was that Bakole fight on a Riyadh season, right? Jared Anderson's fight, was it on Riyadh? Or it was Riyadh. Yeah. I think Turkey broke that mold of having to groom a young fighter and keeping them on a stable, because Top Rank didn't want to feed their young prospects early, and now they're doing it. Golden Boy is doing it now. Now you're seeing a Kid Austin fighting like a Moratella, like who's dangerous. It's
also two dangerous guys fighting each other. So it's really no risk for either side here, right? Because they're not. Neither of them are the prize, the prize fighter of the organization that they're with. Right. It's kind of all right. Well, let's throw these two dogs in the ring and let's see who comes out. It'll make for good entertainment.
Right. And for me, it's more of less rather than the danger factor, because it's boxing. Anybody has a puncher's chance. It's more of the age and tenure. Like Kid Austin doesn't have the tenure of a Moratella. And we are seeing more of his face is popping up. He beat the guy from Philly. What's his name? My man with Tourette's. Tevin Farmer. What he did to him in the first round, kind of was like, bro, screw that betting period. Like having a period to bet them in. No, these kids are ready. Like I'm not saying kids respectfully. He's like 23, 24. How old is he? I can't forget. He's young.
28.
28. Oh shit, he's that old. Oh, never mind. In my mind, I thought he was younger than that. He's in his boxing prime. Never mind. Then I retract my. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought he was. He was in Abdullah Mason's age category. That young.
Murataya born 1997.
Oh, so Murataya. Wow. They're about the same. They're about the same age. Yeah.
But, what's his name? Floyd Austin's a bit younger though.
Yeah, I pull it back. Then never mind. What I was saying was just for fighters like Abdullah Mason. In the past, you never see 21-year-olds just getting into a fast track unless you're a grown 21-year-old with a grown body like Mike Tyson. Like before they bed you in. They did that with Devin Haney. They did that with Floyd Mayweather. They just didn't feed Floyd Pretty Boy to the wolves. They had to work him until he got to the stage of where he was like 26 and he was fighting the Ricky Hartons and so on and so forth. And then he fought De La Hoya. Like you just don't see that fast tracking happening like we have seen with Abdullah Mason. It was supposed to happen with Mutton, Carmel Mutton, and those type of fighters. Like you don't see that, but we've seen that with Riyadh season and Ring. Turkey doesn't care. He's just gonna. You're exciting. You're old enough. You're ready. Like we don't care if you. This is your 3rd, 4th, 10th pro fight. You're just gonna get into this big card. You're gonna be on the big lights. Hey, sink or swim. That's it. And that's what I'm seeing with these fighters. But I kind of pull back my statement because these guys are not that young.
Right. No, but Schofield's 23. So Schofield's 23, Mertes 28. So you're kind of close. And fun fact, Huron, who we talked about, that was the headliner of the Pro Box card, was also the previous fight that Floyd Schofield Austin. Prior to Tevin Farmer. So.
Mm-hmm.
Salute.
Boxing world is so small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm hesitant to share this with the audience, but I don't know how credible this is. But we saw that on a credible Instagram page, Happy Punch. Apparently, WBO is investigating Usyk. There's a video showing Usyk at a Ukrainian party. I don't know if it's a wedding, but that man was, active, loose, dancing. But he's supposed to be. He's reported injured right now, and it's a back injury.
It's like the workman comp people coming. They send investigators.
That's exactly what I thought it was. I'm like, man can catch a break.
So when
did they want him to fight though? That's the thing.
Wait, the 3 people watching live right now are all from each of our respective employers, making sure we don't say anything to damage the brand of the company.
Right. Just making sure. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. I just think it's funny. I think it's hilarious that they're investigating. Like, dude, what if I'm on like what they call that pain medication, that thing that they inject you with, like, bro, there's so many
cortisol.
things, cortisol, like, or like why are you investigating me off a video of me dancing at a party? Like I don't get it, but I understand if there's money to be made and you're holding the line. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're gonna be injured, at least pretending that. Don't be on a video. Like, I understand that, but
why? Because they wanted him to fight Joseph Parker. That's what they wanted. They were like, "Oh, you can dance. You can dance."
he was getting into on the dance floor. I'm like, yo, that boy loose. Like, that boy is not. There's no way. Yes, it's not what the Mike Tyson said. I broke my back, spinal. No, it's not that.
Spinal. Oh, he up there.
But anyway, that was just for the jokes. And if he's really injured, man, hey, Usyk, we're just playing around. I mean, I understand some people have issues and they can still dance and do all sorts of stuff, but it's a problem, you can't
get in with though.
Yeah,
he getting at it.
He's like, hey, Usyk got moves, man. He got real moves. Like they got that techno, high RPM music going on, and he's a different brother. He's very filled, my brother. Very filled.
Oh man. Wow. Well-rounded individual.
If you ever want to see good boxing, amateur boxing, so watch some of Usyk's amateur fights. I've been in this rabbit hole on YouTube, and I watched a couple of Usyk's amateur fights. One of my favorite watch was Usyk versus Andy Ruiz, amateur. Classical, beautiful science of boxing. Now I already have appreciation for Usyk. In my mind, I've always had that stigma, like a weird stigma, that cruiserweight cheating his way through the heavyweights. But I took that when the amateurs, where you're all whatever you want to be, and you're seeing people fighting value for value, like blow for blow, where it's not about power or skating your way because you're athletic. That boy is nice. That boy is really high level nice. And jokes aside from the back injury, I don't see any heavyweight taking him out. Like what I saw him doing in the amateur, even Andrew Ruiz, nice, like really, really nice. Forget the shape of the body. In the amateur, nice. They were going at it, but Usyk was just taking him to another stratosphere with combinations, hitting him, twisting, turning, angles, setting him up in the angles. Like I was like, bro, this amateur guy looks better than the pro. Like amateur guy was looking better. Like what like I understand, like, you know, you overcorrect in the amateurs, you're overly coached, and you in the pros you kind of loosen up because you get power and all sorts of things. But bro, it's a thing to watch. Just if you're ever bored, and I'm now going to jump into the rabbit hole, Lomachenko and the amateurs. I just want to see what the hype was about. I'm thoroughly impressed with Usyk in the amateurs. Like that was a problem. Anyways, moving on. It's been a whole 1 hour. But now let's talk about what we came to talk about. We're here to talk about this weekend, September 13th. The big one. We have Canelo Saul Álvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Fellas, where do I start? Where do I go? Should we start with the preliminaries, or should we just go into the tale of the takes, whatever they say?
We know that it's a couple names on these prelims that we just wanted to acknowledge. You know, we know who Big Bad Bohuchuk is. Shout out to Brandon Stay Ready Adams. Get an opportunity to showcase his talents on the big stage. Steve Nelson, we know, is inside the camp of Terence Crawford. So
yeah.
So that's a throw in. It's kind of interesting that he's so far early in the preliminaries, and especially coming off of his last match with Diego Pacheco, if memory serves me.
Mm-hmm.
So he's we could be talking about Nelson versus Canelo. Could have been talking about Nelson versus Canelo instead of Crawford versus Canelo, but somebody in the camp got on the card, and they both got on the card. So
yeah. I mean, even the preliminary.
Yeah,
look,
that's a good look.
The names for preliminary card, like we talked about it prior, like these names could be marquee fighters on on any stack card, regardless of who's fighting. Like these are names. We talked about.
Check out Ivan Ditchko on that preliminary card. He's like a 6'8", 6'9", slender build heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Trained in the United States.
This is an interesting promotional tactic because Turkey already explicitly stated that he's not worried about stacking this card because the main event is going to draw in the people by itself. And he wanted to use this as an opportunity to give some promotion and to give some exposure to other deserving fighters who may not usually get that attention. With that said, the bigger names, by and large, are on this preliminary card. And I think that is to promote whatever the heck it is that this says that the preliminary card is going to be on. Did y'all see what that was? It was like another app.
Is it Netflix?
Oh,
wait.
Did you see what that was called? It was like Tell It or
that's a new one.
That's a new one.
Right. And so I think that's what that is. They're using the existing names to promote whatever that is. Yeah. And
I'm looking at this undercard right here, and I see a name sticking out, Kasami. So initially, I thought that was the guy that fought back August 16th, and I realized, wait, he has a brother. So there's Riato and Hayato. So Riato Tusami is the guy that fought in New York back in July. And Hayato is the one that fought back in Saudi Arabia August 16th. And we had some inside jokes that maybe we shared it with with the audience here that seeing Japanese fighters fighting outside top ranking is interesting. So I'm seeing how Mr. Taki Al-Hashik is stretching his arms into East Asia with his fighters, because they do definitely they have we said industrial, but I didn't want to use that word, but they have like they have a plant over there that is just building these fighters, man, and especially in the featherweight division, and we talk about the Inoues and so on and so forth. So that's a smart move, having people in your stable of that ilk. So that name just stood out.
Whatever this is, it's TUDUM by Netflix. So I think they're using this as an opportunity to introduce that to the world.
So fellas, now we talked about Netflix. Let's be honest here. How much, and take away your bias being boxing people, how much value based on audience reception or retention does this fight have? We're talking about Bud and Canelo. Is this a big money fight, or is this just a boxer's lover's heaven, for lack of a better word?
Huge fight. I mean, a couple of the better fighters of this current generation. Terence Crawford daring to be great, going up multiple weight classes. He previously said he would never go above 154, but that bag was big enough, so you go get it. And at this point, the myth of Terence Crawford is that, man, he can do anything. So those that are on the side of Terence Crawford, at least that's what they are believing. But I'm super excited. I really feel like we're going to see the beginning of a great friendship between Canelo and Bud, because I think regardless of the outcome, there's going to be a lot of mutual respect, because these are two dogs in this sport of boxing, and I think you can always appreciate that when you get well acquainted with somebody over a combat, So super excited.
LT, what's your take on this? You think this is more? Think about it outside being a boxing enthusiast, more of a marketing person. How big is this fight?
Oh, this is huge. Huge. You just take the two. I hope I'm not just repeating what Kam just said, but you just take the two biggest names in the sport, and this. I just did some quick research in that the Tudum is Netflix, like Netflix's film festival. But it says that Tudum happens in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'm interested to see if these preliminary cards are happening at a different location than the main event, the main card.
Oh,
that'll be it. Or maybe I just gave them a free marketing strategy for the next time they do this. But
dang, I know.
Remember, this I wouldn't be surprised if it's Brazil, because Brazil has a big UFC liking when it comes to combat sports, and this event is being put together by the UFC. Dana White is heavy. This is Dana White's Super Bowl, pretty much. It's where TKO and Dana White are the big brains behind this whole thing. So if it works, don't be surprised if you see Dana White with Taki Al-Hashik working on future events like this. So
I mean, let's dive into that. Joe Martinez is going to cover the prelim streaming on Tudum. John and Nick leads play-by-play. Max Kellerman and Andre Ward with analysis. You got Michael Buffer. I mean, obviously you need Michael Buffer. I mean, you got the likes of Mario Lopez, Antonio Tarver, Mike Kriegel, Mike Coppinger. Ring coverage, Jim Gray, Heidi Andro, and Skipper Kelp. Like, you had me at Max Kellerman, though.
Max. Max Kellerman and Andre Ward are outstanding.
Yeah.
I always tell the guys I work with in the gym to listen to everything Andre Ward says. Like he is an encyclopedia of knowledge, and Max Kellerman being back on the microphone as well, man. He's a lover of the sport, and I'm very excited to have those guys on there as well. I mean, yeah, it's what boxing needs. It's part of the ambassadorship of the sport is you give people access. It's on Netflix, but then you also have to educate them, right? Max Kellerman is he's a very great historian of the sport, and Andre Ward is a tactician, a scientist in it. So you get those guys having conversations over the 4-hour telecast is man, it's worth its weight in gold. Amazing.
You just said something. The last MVP card, the all women card, was that also on Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So they did an excellent job of covering the history of women's boxing in that event. So with it being on Netflix again, I hope to see some similar things.
The undercard was on, or the preliminary card was on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
So access again, right? So you got access, free access on YouTube to watch these fights on the preliminaries, and then you got Netflix. So, man, right now boxing is hot. It's hot.
It's hot. And like we talked about the preliminaries. That main card for people that love boxing, and even the average Joe who's just out there for fireworks and people getting knocked out, their knockouts in that main card. You talk about Callum Wash, you talk about Christian Mbili, and you know who Christian he's fighting Lister Martinez. They're my dudes that you just don't back down. So there's going to be actually it's going to be a great card. I mean, people may not know Christian Mbili is out of Canada, I believe. Canada, is he from Canada or Europe? Or I'm saying the right place. I think he's Canadian, Montreal. But Christian Mbili is perfect for this event. Canelo, Crawford, I believe there'll be a knockout. I believe there will be a knockout. I don't know if it's gonna go 12 rounds. And we'll do our predictions.
I'm like, you ready for predictions?
We'll do our predictions. Definitely, this one we don't have to do every. Do you want to do every lineup on the main card, or just Canelo and Bart? We could do that.
This is what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking to see who was dumb enough to schedule their college football game during prime time this weekend.
Yeah, because you got some huge events going on.
So, have you noticed the intensity? No. I was wrong. Let me first start with I was wrong. I initially back in July, I was sizing up Crawford's, seeing his calm nature during those the presses. He was friendly, he was smiley, he was engaging with Canelo. He looked like I was thinking payday, like Canelo says all the time. I've seen him now. And there's something in those eyes, man. There's something when it's fight week. When it's even him, I thought Canelo was way bigger than him. See him standing with Canelo, I'm like, oh, they're not. There's not too much of a difference. They're about the same height. And I'm telling you, I'm changing my tune now, because I was saying something different back in July, where I was like, well, why is Terence docile and quiet and chill and letting Canelo talk all his ish? Yeah, now I get it. So, hey, I'm allowed to change my opinion, but that will help us lead to, fellas. Now we're getting to an hour 20 minutes. But we need to make some predictions for this fight. So, LT, Kam Gee, man, let's share. And I'll take notes.
Yeah, the way I see this going down, One thing I said that Crawford will make Canelo bleed this fight. I think he's going to be stinging Canelo's face. As it relates to power, we know Canelo can take a punch. He's tough as nails. But I do think Crawford will be sharp as ever. We've been making a lot about the weight gain. I don't know. We'll see. I think he comes in at a comfortable weight for him. I don't think he tries to put on too much bulk. I think he just comes in comfortably, and if he just so happens to rehydrate to that, and that's what it is.
Are they fighting at 65?
68.
68?
Mm-hmm. People will be surprised at how strong Crawford is in the clinch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they might be surprised to see the amount of clinching. The one thing that scares me is those moments that come after the 7th round and into the 8th and into the championship rounds when Crawford, the dog in Crawford, he lets himself off the leash. And those are the moments that scare me because he leaves himself susceptible. And does he do it or does he take the cautious road? But predictions. My prediction is Crawford by points. Yeah, Crawford by points in a split decision.
Man. Okay. Well, I see this fight going like this. Extremely high-level chess match with some exchanges. I think that Canelo will eventually hurt Bud at some point in this fight. Keep in mind, both fighters have been hurt. Canelo early in his career and survived. Bud also hurt earlier in his career and was able to survive. So there is potential for them to hurt each other. I think Canelo will hurt Bud, and I think that will ignite that thing that Strap said he saw in Bud's eyes, and it's just an elite mentality that refuses to lose. So I think you will get the best version of Terence Crawford, and I think the best version of Terence Crawford will be enough to beat Canelo by points, and I think it's just going to be very close, like triple G Canelo 1 or 2 type situation where you got like a split or majority decision going towards Terence Bud Crawford out of Omaha, Nebraska.
So you also have an SD? You have a split decision?
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close, back and forth.
So your decision, okay. I'm taking notes down, so if I'm taking a little bit of time, just so it's the fact that both fighters know that their legacies will be determined from this fight, right? Both are already going to have great legacies when they decide to walk away from the sport, but this will be the fight that they talk about. All right, I'm writing the notes down here. All right. Okay. This fight right here is very it's very polarizing because I could see it going all sorts of ways. It's not like most of my predictions. I could definitely tell you mannerisms. This fighter does that. That fighter does this. Bud, first of all, his greatest asset is he's very unpredictable. That's his. It's way more than his dog, way more than his power, way more than his something that they call his strength is his gas tank. He gets better in the later rounds. He's never a quick starter. That's one of his things that he struggled with. He always gives his first rounds, 2 rounds. which was an anomaly when he fought Spence, where he started off quick with Spence. But that's not Bud's style. And we saw that when he fought the Ukrainian guy, his last fight, I believe. He picks up. He figures you. He picks up and gets better, right? Canelo is not a person you want to do that with, because Canelo does the same thing. He downloads. Canelo toys around with his fighters in the beginning. Sometimes I can't remember the last time Canelo knocked out someone in the first 5 rounds. He's a round 8 knockout guy. He puts you on that guy. He cooks. He pressure cooks you, and then you make a mistake and he will knock you out. He did that to Amir Khan. He did that with Caleb Plant. He's done that with a lot of fighters. I was gonna say Eddie Gabalenga. Eddie Gabalenga was just he was running school. Yeah, I mean, they're fighters that just didn't let Canelo download them and figure them out because they were not giving Canelo looks. Bud and Canelo share that. They're not people that are going to give you the best in their first early rounds. This is where I think Bud is going to take advantage of that. If he's going to apply himself like he applied with All Spence, he's going to start strong. He needs to start strong. He needs to get Canelo's respect. He needs to do Bivol's approach of Bivol started on his BS early with Canelo. Dominated, let him know there's a stiff jab waiting. You're not coming inside. There's no way you're going to download me or figure me out. I'm going to keep you in a distance and fight you at my range. I'm going to hit you with not many combos, but it's going to be a 1-2 clear. I'm not going to hook with you because I know your strength. Canelo loves when you hook. If you're sending 3s and 4s on Canelo, that's what he loves because he can eat those. And he knows how to work the ropes. He knows how to knock you off from a back foot. That's one of the most dangerous fighters when he's on his back foot because he's knocked out. He knocked out Sergey Kovalev. If I'm saying his name, Kovalev from a back foot. It was one of the nastiest back foot knockouts. Being pressed, he knocked out Amir Khan on a back foot because Amir Khan was just pressed, and Canelo knew how to shell up. Because he has that Philly, he's in Philly he shells up and he gets you with the most devastating counters, and you'll make a mistake with him. You don't want to make a mistake with Canelo. Bud is a wise fighter, amazing boxing mind. I say that to say that it's hard to predict switch. He's a switch stance guy. Canelo has never fought a switch stance fight, if I can remember. A guy who switches from left to right. Bud has that as his superpower. And he's not just a pretend switch fighter. He's actually good fighting with his left. That's the same way he's good fighting with his right. Canelo's going to get those different looks. I say that to say I think this goes 12 rounds. And I can see Bud having a split decision. I don't see domination from anyone's side. It's that they have so many similarities. They both knock you out in the lates. They're not quick fighters. I'm not expecting him to do like Canelo, like All Spence. I can't see Canelo going out like that. I can't see him doing that. So I don't see any of them picking up early. And if it goes past 8, they're both so seasoned that they could weather that storm where they're at their best and give us some magic in the last rounds. They're gonna, because Bud probably the best engine in the game, right? Would you say Bud has some of the best cardio, even for an older guy? His engine is would you say that? Because he's always had even though he knocks out people.
I wouldn't characterize him there, but conditioning and his fitness has never been a problem though.
Yeah. So Canelo, I don't think so. Canelo wants to end the fight early, so maybe that's Bud may get an advantage there in the later rounds. But I say Bud split decision, and it's just gonna be a lot of ring IQ exchange. It's not gonna be I want to knock out, but my educated guess here is I don't think they're gonna knock out each other.
You brought up a lot of great points. You brought up Canelo is training with Boots, so Boots was in camp. Canelo was in Philly. We learned that there's a large Philly connection there with Canelo. So he he has been exposed to the closest thing to Bud. Would y'all agree that Boots is probably the
Right. Switch for
so?
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. But I mean, another switch stance fighter is Boots. Boots does that a lot in his fights. He switches from left to right. That's his style. Yeah. It's bro. If that guy Crawford knocks out Canelo, if he does that, it's gonna be it's gonna be pandemonium. It's going to be. It'll be something. It'll be something. But we're talking about a lot of money here on the line, and Canelo's not gonna lose that. A lot of money on the line. I don't think Canelo's gonna go reckless on a Bud, like trying to. He's gonna fight it very intelligently, and he lives to fight another fight while he does his. We always say Canelo is retiring, but Canelo's younger than Bud. That's another thing. So Canelo's younger. He's a younger fighter. So it's funny. It's funny that I'm talking to Canelo. I'm talking about Canelo during the last dance, but I mean Bud's last dance. But yeah, I don't see Canelo losing. Or I mean, I can see Canelo losing, but not like. It's gonna be amazing regardless. So. All right, so
glad that it's here. Glad it's finally here.
It's finally here. How are y'all watching the fight?
Netflix.
Like y'all at home. Okay. All right.
I haven't. Yeah, I didn't really give any thoughts to like a party or anything like that. But
yeah, this is one of those fights where I'm getting invites to watch parties and stuff. So
I may throw a party. You know what? I may throw a party.
Yeah. Last time I think there was a fight party was a Tank and Ryan Garcia, where I was getting hit up about the kickbacks and the shindigs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
all due respect.
Thank you for tuning in, Javier.
Thank you, Javier. Like with this type of thing, damn, you need an audience. You can't be watching it by yourself. So, like, I think
you can, man. I'm, it's one of these fights you really want to like get into and kind of. You might have to rewatch it more than once, but it's a generational fight. So, and I think Javier made the comment like something that Crawford hasn't shown. Wait. Did I read that incorrectly? With all due respect, unless Crawford shows something miraculous that has never been seen before, it's Canelo by KO. And I've seen just elite competitive mentality from Crawford, right? You see Canelo take rounds off early in the fight to try to diagnose guys. And in the William Skull fight, it was frustrating to watch. But one thing you did want to see from Canelo was, hey man, cut the ring off.
Yeah.
And he did not want to give the effort to do so. And basically Canelo walked out of there because no one wanted William Skull to win, but we also saw the deficiency of footwork in Canelo, which we would think that Crawford would have an advantage there. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think Canelo's seen anyone like Crawford. So,
yes. Yes.
That it can go both ways. So I think you're just seeing two top guys, and they're about to go at it.
And I think the key is to mix it up. Like, is Crawford humble enough to mix up his approach round by round, throw different looks at Canelo? We know he switch hits, which that's part of it. But are you willing to take a round off and force Canelo to come forward?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
will he be able to push him back? Will he be able to push him back on occasion? Like, there's moments in the fight you nudge him back, right? We haven't really seen that. Bivol did that to Canelo.
Do you come out from the gate, try to make a statement and say, okay, I'm gonna see what you can do on the back foot, get in and out? And I think if you come up with a master plan, and Bomac is proven with multiple fighters that he can come up with plans. So If you come out with a master plan and he's humble enough to execute it, and pride and his own pride doesn't get in his way.
Yeah.
The same thing that makes him great is what also makes him vulnerable.
Yeah, and like adding to that, like I just even adding to more of the suspense and excitement of this game, of this fight, is if Crawford wants to really win this, you have to win it early. Because Canelo is gonna give you that look. Because he doesn't know what Crawford he's gonna fight. Canelo has never fought anything like Crawford, and Crawford is a hard person to download because according to Bomac, whatever they had practiced or whatever they had on as their game plan versus Earl Spence, 5 minutes to walking into the ring, Bud said, scrap that. I'm going to fight this guy. So that's the person you're fighting. You're fighting someone who is unorthodox and different and weird and just goes off his fight IQ, how he feels, how he regardless of preparation. So Canelo would lose if he was going to lose convincingly. You have to get him early. And when you get him early, that means Canelo is going to be on the back pedal. And when Canelo, just like how I hate to say this, these are two different level fighters, but these are I want to talk about Rolly versus Ryan. Ryan was got early, and that's why he was on the back pedal. Sometimes guys like that, because Canelo always will step forward, but he will counter punch you. He will get hit. Canelo will get hit. Canelo will absorb them, make him respect you early or hurt him early. We've never seen. Okay, let me pull this back. Have we seen Canelo hurt before? I don't think I have ever seen him hurt.
He was hurt early in his career. I think by a left hook early in his career. It was televised. If you can find it on YouTube, but he was able to survive and won the fight.
Yeah, because I've seen him in a situation where he let somebody have his way. Billy Joe Sanders in the first rounds, but he beat Billy Joe. He did that same thing with Lara Trout. He lets guys have their way, and they look good. Plant. Yeah,
Caleb Plant points, right?
Yeah, they look good.
But you can take moments where these guys are pointing on Canelo, and that's I was just about to allude to that.
They didn't hurt him.
Caleb Plant, but they're pointing.
They're pointing, yeah.
Yeah. And I can't wait.
So we made our predictions. It looks like everybody here has Bud Crawford winning by split. And I think it'll be great for boxing when that happens. But again, hey, you never know what the boxing gods think. And but before we end this with this show, I have a point here that I wrote down that I didn't bring into conversation. Both these fighters, according to their own accord, don't want to fight each other. This fight was put together by Turki Al-Hashik with incentive of a lot of money being made. Canelo didn't want to fight Bud because Bud is a difficult client and just an opponent you have not too much information about because he's just very skilled. And then Bud never wants to go higher than 56 or whatever. He never wants to he even said it. He doesn't want to fight that big. So this was never a fight ever supposed to happen. Coming from both fighters' prior discussions of what they want to fight. So this fight has been, when money comes into the conversation, doors open. So this door was open with the incentive of money. So I say that to say this. They are both scared of each other because they're fighting like they're both, I'll be honest, they're both, regardless of the bravado, regardless of the stoic nature that they may present, this is a fight that they both know is dangerous. So I say that to say, even if I've said a split decision, I don't think anyone is going to be as adventurous and confident enough to let it all out. Like I said, like how Bud should approach it and just go quick and just impose yourself on him. There's going to be a lot of respect And that's why the smart choice for all of us that we've decided is 12 rounds. And I think that's a very good, very smart prediction. They not fear, but they have a healthy respect for each other. Is what I'm just saying. I just want to say that because I had that on my points here. They didn't want to fight each other. So
I guess one last thing I'll say. They're essentially the same height. Crawford has a 4-inch reach advantage. The irony is we think of Canelo as the power puncher when we compare these two. But Crawford has won all but 10 fights by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
31 of Crawford's 41 victories are by knockout. And does the power translate? Does the power, Canelo's power, translate it as he went up? Does Crawford's power go up as he goes up? But the Madrimov unanimous decision, according to Crawford, comes because Madrimov was unwilling to fight him.
Mm-hmm. It's a different type of power.
Will Canelo be available?
It's a different type of power. Canelo's power.
He's gonna be there to be hit. He'll be there, and I expect Crawford to target the body, which I think just a high level thinker and a fighter. I think he will target the body of Canelo, and I think Canelo will try to target the body of Terence Crawford. Like it's going to be tit for tat, right?
Will Crawford throw an uppercut?
Ooh, he when he turns up, he will throw him.
With I mean, if he
is it just me? Is it something that me being the fan at home watching these fights? Is it just an illusion? And why don't they do it when they fight Canelo?
Because you gotta sneak the uppercut. You gotta hide it in combinations.
There's risk there because Canelo loves the left hook. So the right uppercut, the counter for that is that left hook, and that leaves you very exposed. So you just have to be very calculated when you're throwing those type of shots.
Yeah, I mean, and then I heard a fighter talk. Uppercuts are if you don't disguise. I mean, in weight category, you could not disguise. I mean, it's okay not to disguise your uppercut as a heavyweight because they're slower punches. But to that weight category, you have to have a slick combination to this to incorporate in there because like Kam Gee said, you're vulnerable when you let that thing go. With a level of fighter of a Canelo Álvarez, who's a very good counter fighter. Like, but a heavyweight, the uppercut is money. Their counter punching is, you can see the punch telegraphing a long way. It's coming. Like heavyweight fighters are not, their hands are not quick like that. But yeah, man, it's interesting. It's a good breakdown. Actually, I would want us to have a fight stream if one of these days for these type of big fights, because I would want to see you gentlemen's live reaction when things are being done, when events are happening and monumental presentations are happening. It'll be great content for this page to have that type of showcase, but in due time we'll work on that. Well, do you have any closing remarks, anything that in the chat that we have not covered or talked about? I don't see anything here.
No, I don't see anything.
We give all the attention to this weekend.
Yeah,
we got plenty to talk later on, but
definitely,
this is what we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another episode of Who's Fighting, episode 67. And now we transition to the week leading up to Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Thank you for tuning in. Those that are still online, hey, this is live, but it will be recorded. Like, leave a comment, subscribe. It helps us it helps us stay in the algorithm. It helps us compute the computing, I guess is what Cam said. Cameron, that is the rapper. He makes the computer spew. Let's make
in the words of my middle schoolers.
Yeah.
6'7".
6'7". Oh man, I don't know how I know that, but salute to I Show Speed. Just like that, again, it's another episode of Who's Fighting? Kam Gee, LT, who is fighting? And we out.